Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm John. I collect cards. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're enjoying the first full week of, first 8, 9 days, I guess, of the 2023 season. Hope your team's off to a good start. Yankees just came away with a 7-6 loss today to Baltimore in their home opener, and the AL East is going to be a tough division this year. There are four good teams, and Boston's always Boston. You never know what you're going to get from them. So, I mean, really, there's five pretty good to very good teams in that division this year. So it's going to be tough sledding for the Yanks. But, they're pretty stacked too. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm loving this season off to a great running start here. It's been a minute since I made a video. But what I'm going to do here is show you 15 cards that I'm going to be sending out to SGC here tomorrow. Today is Friday, April 7th. I had to think about that for a sec. So let's get right to it. Got 15 cards. This is my largest order I've ever submitted to SGC. The first three cards I'm going to show here are actually submitting them for my brother who sent them out to me, and I just got them in today and getting them ready to send out too. We got an 1983 Topps Tony Gwynn rookie. Hoping this can come away with a 6. It's got a little bit of tilt to it, as you can see, down, kind of going down from left to right. Overall, it's a pretty nice card. I would have to think this is something we pulled out of a pack, 40 years ago now, amazingly. This is actually some smudge on the top load or on the card saver itself, so that corner is actually pretty clean, but hoping this can get a 6. We'll see. And the next one, these next two that my brother sent off are probably a little better. Starting with this 1982 Topps traded Cal Ripken Jr. So his first solo Topps card. This one's pretty nice. Hoping this one can get a 7. We'll see what SGC can do on this one. A 7 would be nice. We'll see. The back is here. Overall, pretty strong card, I think. Centering is... it's a little top bottom, little bottom, I guess you could say, in terms of the centering, but the left to right's pretty good. So hoping for 7 on that one. And then the last one that my brother sent in, this one's a nice one. This is a pretty sweet one. You're going to see this person's name a lot in the submission, actually, too. So here's the first card of Willie Mays here that's going in. It's 1972 Topps, his last Giants card. This is a nice one. I remember when my brother got this probably, I don't know, I think he probably got this a decade ago, maybe a little more. Maybe 15 years ago for all I know. But I remember when he mentioned that he got it, and I was like, and I first saw it, I was like, that's a pretty nice card. So this one, hoping if this can score a 7, I'd be really happy about that. I think it's got a chance. I think it's got a chance for a 7. This is a nice one. Definitely should get at least a 6. So overall, this is a pretty nice one. I'm going through these a little quicker than I usually do, just because I do have 15 I'm sending in this time in this submission. But I do want to take the time to show them all before I send them, as I usually do. I guess we'll do 3 at a time, and then we'll kind of just move on to the next batch. The rest of these are going to be my submissions. This is my 6th submission overall to SGC, and I'm going in reverse chronological order, as you can tell. First one I'm sending in is also from 72. It's a Thurman Munson. I've shown the majority of these cards in recent videos in the last few months, but not all of them. So some of them will be new that I'll show here for the first time in a video. Picked this up at a card show outside Grand Rapids about a month, maybe a month or so ago, I'd say, maybe a month and a half ago. I think that's just some dust there. I'd love for this to come back a 7. Thurman's last, well, I think it's his last clean-shaven card in Topps. 73, he's got the mask on, so you don't really know if he's got the stash going or not. But sweet card here. Love for it to come back a 7. It'll look really nice in a slab. So let's see what SGC can do for 70s Yankees captain there. Now we're going back into the 60s. And here's Willie Mays number 2 that's going out in this one. 1966, it's card number 1. So obviously pretty condition sensitive. hoping this can come back a 3. And it looks pretty rough in terms of, well, centering for one thing, and the edges and corners pretty rounded. But there are no creases on here from what I can tell, and so I'm hoping that this can nab a 3. It's a little dirty on the back too, so 2.5 will not surprise me. I can't see how it can come back. If it comes back a 2, I'd be pretty disappointed. Hoping for a 3 on it. I think it's got a chance for a 3 because it does not have a crease from what I can tell. So, and the photo quality itself is pretty nice. It's pretty nice. The actual image is in pretty good shape. So we'll see what Willie does there for 66. Next up, we've got a 1964 Topps Warren Spahn. This is his last, I think it's his last Braves card, actually. I think he had a Mets card in 65, which I think may have been his last one, playing area card. I would love for this to get a 6. I think that might be a possible tall order because of this corner here and some edge. It's got a little bit of an issue there. So I think a 6 could be a stretch, and that one's got a little bit of a, it's not sharp, but it's got some wear. So the top is in nice shape. So that's what's making me hope that maybe you can pull out something like that. But if I'm guessing, if I'm looking at it some more, a 5 is probably more likely. But I'm still going to hope for a 6. So we got these 3 guys there. Moving on to the next batch of 3. We've got 1963 Topps Tony Oliva rookie card. I did a video a couple months ago. I shared 3 cards about if you would grade them or not. And in the end, I decided to grade this one. I think it's Oliva's rookie, recent Hall of Famer. It does have this crease / wrinkle right there. I mean, I guess you have to call it a crease, but it's not a big one, and it just ends kind of like right there. Doesn't get in Oliva's neighborhood, so to speak. Ed Kranepool, he didn't make the Hall of Fame, so even though he's a pretty legendary Met. So I'm sending this in for Oliva's rookie card, obviously. Hoping it can if it can pull out a 3, I'll be happy. I think it still might have a chance for a 3, even with that little crease. I really do. It is off center left, but the corners aren't super rounded. So, they're obviously wear, but they're not like really rounded corners. So I'm hoping this can nab a 3. We'll see. That could be wishful thinking, but that's what I'm aiming for on that one. If I can get out of the light. Okay, moving on. We go to 1961, first of 2 cards. And this is Willie Mays number 3 in this submission. This is the weakest of the Willies that are going to SGC here. You could see this one, I shared this one fairly recently on a Willie Mays video I did. It's got a print line going right across his head, and it's got 2 creases in it. One that's not like big, but it's not in a good place. As you can see, it's kind of like right over here. So right on his face. And then there's something, I think it's like down here, that's a little harder to see there. It's a little more evident on the back. If I can get it to come in. I think it came in. It's sort of, I could sort of see it. It's down there, kind of like that. Beyond that, the back looks pretty okay. But the front's got some major stuff going. So I'm hoping, I'd love for this to get a 2. If it can get a 2, I'll be happy. That's what I'm hoping for on that one. 1.5 is, I think, pretty possible. I don't think it's 1 bad. I don't think it'll get a 1. If it gets a 1, I'll be pretty bummed about that. But it's Willie, and I still think it should be graded. But I'm holding out hope for a 2 on that one. If the centering was a little better, I think a 2.5 would have been a possibility. But moving on, another 61. We're sending in a Mickey Mantle on this one. I just picked this one up less than a month ago, maybe almost a month ago now. It also has 2 creases in it, but overall the image quality of this is pretty nice. I love that there's like little to no snow in like the dark background here, so his face really pops out. Centering's also pretty left and not good there. It's got this gnarly kind of edge wear there. It is what it is. You can see one of the creases kind of coming through here. It's just right in there. It's not super bad. And then the other one is up here, just above his hat, where you do see a little bit of paper loss right there, which is kind of a bummer. But I knew what I was getting when I won the auction for it. The corners aren't terrible. I mean, it's Mickey Mantle, so it's not going to be great for most budgets. It's going to have some issues on it. This is my second Mick, and I am hoping that this can get a 2.5. A 3 has to be out of the question because of 2 creases in it, even if they're not like really major. But I'm hopeful it can maybe sneak out a 2.5. So SGC does like to share the half grades a lot, so that's my hope with that one. We've got, still got 6 more cards here to show, and I'm trying to be kind of quick about it, but if you're still with me, I appreciate that. Next up is a card I have not shown before. It's a 1959. Well, maybe I have shown this once, way back when. I did a little video on this guy, but it was probably over a year ago. Orlando Cepeda, 1959 All-Star. What I like about this card, it's his second year in the bigs, and he had an All-Star card already. He broke out, had such great start to his career. I believe that's on the top. I think that's on the card saver, but maybe it's on the card itself. I'm going to take it off camera just for a second. I can't remember all of these at this point. What is what? And I think it's a little dot on the image itself on the card. But the corners are nice on this. I think I picked this up in my card shop, one of my LCSs, for like $20. And I don't know. I just felt like sending it in. It's a pretty nice example of this card. The corners are in decent shape. They're not perfect on the bottom. On top, they're pretty good. I measured it out. It, shouldn't be authentic. Like, it looks a little tight up there, but, it's a little more up down here. So it's off-center top. It's also not a super pricey card, so I shouldn't be concerned about, about a trim or anything. But I'd be very, very surprised. And plus, my card shop sold it to me. So anyway, the corners and back, I really like the back of this card. That's another reason why I got it. I just think it's, just a cool, little text block there. Exciting giant youngster, unanimously voted 58 Rookie of the Year. It's a really cool All-Star back on this one, on these 59 All-Stars. It's not my favorite All-Star front design, but I really like the back of it with the bazooka and all that stuff. So we've got 5 more to share here. And now we're getting into another All-Star card, which is one of the, actually possibly could be the strongest card of the whole submission, and that's my 4th Willie Mays that's going in this sub. Shared this recently too. 1958 Topps All-Star. This is a pretty solid card. I talked about recently how I ended up getting this. I saw it at the same LCS where I got the Cepeda. They had it up as high as, I think, $250, and over several months they went down to $125, and I finally just picked it up at that point where I was like, if it's still at that price or still here when I get, next time I pop in, I might grab it, and it was, and I did. With the intention of submitting it. So I'll be in for about $150 plus after taxes, a little over $150. But this is a nice one. It's got, a lot of these cards have this snow issue, or it's almost like, it's hard to call it. It is snow, I guess you have to call it, but it's some other kind of print issue in there, and they're almost all these All-Star cards have it, which is interesting. The centering on this is quite good. It's got a little bit of print dirt there too. I'd love for this to come back a 6. I think it's got a really good chance at a 6. If it comes back a 5, I'll have to accept it, obviously, but I think the centering is good enough where I'm hoping this can get a 6. Anything better, I'd be really, really pleased and, really happy about that. So wish me luck on that one. I'm excited to send that one in. I've got a few cards left here, 4 to go. Next up is going to be 1956 Elston Howard. This is his second year card, first Topps card. His rookie card is 1955 Bowman. Picked this up at the same show that I got the Thurman Munson, the 72 Munson actually. It's pretty nice. It just pops. I love this image of him, the portrait shot of him. Really think that when I saw it, I just didn't recall the card, and so when I saw it, it almost looked like I saw it for the first time, kind of a thing. It's a really nice 56. It's got one corner issue down here that's not bad though. It's see a little fold, little dinky fold in that one there, but the corner itself is still pretty evident. It's not really rounded, and the rest of the corners are nice. It's a little off center bottom. Left right is it's also off center right a little bit. But overall, I think this is a nice example. So, you know, being the Yankee fan I am with, you know, Yankee history and all that, I am excited to get this one slabbed. I think it'll look great in a slab. So I'm hoping it can come back a 5. A 5 will make me pretty happy on this one. So we'll see what that can do. And we have got 3 left. We'll move these out of the way, slide these off. We got 3 cards left. The next 2 are my 1954 submissions for my 54 complete set. Starting to run out of Hall of Famers to send in, and it's quite possible these are going to be the last 2 that I send in, possibly for a while. This might be my last submission for a while, actually, for the foreseeable future, to be honest. Well, let's make it a big one. So we're sending in the Yogi Berra on this one. Have not shown this before, I don't think. This is my 1954 Berra. I'm hoping it can get a 4. It's got, you know, I think it's a good example for a 4. I really do. Centering's pretty good. It's got a little bit of an edge issue there where my thumb is. Right thumb right here. But overall, I think it's in decent shape. I think it's got a decent chance, a good chance at a 4. Little tilt, actually. The tilt is a little more evident on the back. But the wear isn't too bad. You can see the tilt going, you know, from left down to right. But it might be actually more of a back issue on it than the front. So hoping I can get a 4. That's my hope on that. And then this card is in better condition. This is my Gil Hodges. Now, when I bought this was among my first big 54 pickups when I got it. And I believe I paid $90 for this, and I thought I overpaid, and it was sort of in 2020 when, you know, we were all, you know, I wasn't paying attention anyway I was, but it was like, okay, I'm excited. I'm going into this. I'm looking to collect the set, and I thought this was a really nice example of this Hodges. I thought I overpaid at the time, but now I don't know. You know, now he's in the Hall of Fame. He wasn't in the Hall of Fame when I got this. And, you know, I'm looking at some examples online. You know, I'm really hopeful this will come back a 5, at least. This corner down here is is a bit of a tricky one. It's more like dirty than anything. It's not like missing stuff. The corner's there, as you can see. It's just got some dirt on it. But the rest of the card is in pretty nice shape. The top corners are really nice. It's missing some color there. That's a bit of an issue. But all in all, I'm hoping it can get a 5. If it can get a 6 even, if it could sneak out a 6, because this back is in really nice shape. There's like very little edge wear. I think the back might help it quite a bit. So I'm hoping for a 6, actually. I think it's got a very good chance for a 5. So those are my 254s that I'm sending in. I do have other Hall of Famers that, you know, eventually I probably will submit, because I do want to kind of get all the Hall of Famers graded. But at this point, they're going to be mostly 3s and maybe a 4. Like my Monty Irvin could be a 4. But my Eddie Matthews and Warren Spahn, those are 3, if not a 2 even, because I think they both have a crease in them. It's not big, but small, but still there. My Tommy Lasorda is an interesting one. It's got some bad printing. It's got a bad print issue on it that I'm a little hesitant to even send it in. But I probably will at some point, but probably get a 3. And Duke Snider's, the bottom of that card's not great. It probably would be a 4 at best, but probably more in the 3 ballpark. But anyway, moving on. Last card I'm going to send in is this card I did share recently. Let me move these out of the way at this point. It's my only T206, my first one I've picked up of Pat Moran. I do want to get this guy graded, hoping it can get a 2.5. Or actually, I hope I can get a 3 on it. I got 30 seconds to 20 minutes, so I'm going to wrap this up really quick. It's got a small little crease right in there, but only up to like the lettering. So maybe it can pull out a 3. We'll see. But and it's a sovereign back, so it's not it's not super rare. but it's not the most common 2-back. So I'm excited to send this one in, and that'll do it. 15 cards going out tomorrow to SGC. I'm going to just break 20 minutes. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. And let's see how fast SGC can turn these around. A 15-card order, it's the biggest one I've ever done. So if they can do it in a week, 8 days, I'll be really excited. So look forward to sharing the grades with you at that time. Until then, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.